The prophet of thought. Open your mind. 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 Open your mind.
Open your mind.
The prophet of thought. It's the new dark exodus, slide.
D.X.L. You know. And peace, folks. Welcome back to another edition of the Proper Thought series right here on the old T.P.O.T YouTube page. I'm your host, X, of course, but you knew that already. That's why your black asses are here. Got a good show for y'all tonight, man. My boy B.M.T just hit me up on my phone and said he may not be able to make it, which is actually disappointing because he had an update on a story for us. So we're going to have to catch up with brother B.M.T on another one, or maybe later, because he said he can't get down with his computer right now. So hopefully he comes in later, y'all, because I really want him to update y'all on the story we was talking about. But before we get started, as always, y'all know I got to thank you good folks, man, for everything you do, for your likes, your shares, your subscriptions, your views, and of course, your hard-earned pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, and 50-cent pieces. Because you don't have to do it, man. You don't have to do it, but you choose to do it. You choose to do it, man. And for that, I'm grateful, I'm humbled, I'm honored, and I'm appreciative, man. And I want y'all to know, man, I don't take it lightly. That's why I start the show out every night, thanking you good folks out there and you good folks who hang out in here. I appreciate all y'all, man. Without y'all, man, I know this channel would be nothing. I know that. And like I always say, man, there's not too many places I can go, man, and people don't know who I am. And I know it's not just because of me. I know it's because of you good folks out there, man, and your support and everything else. So, I just want y'all to know, man, I don't take it lightly. I don't take y'all lightly, man. And I appreciate all you good folks out there. All right. All right. So let's get at it. Yeah, we're going to go into this tonight, man. And you see the title, right? Y'all see the title. It is incest. Well, involuntary incest in NegroVille. Yeah, that's right. NegroVille. I know this is a taboo subject for most folks. I know it is. It's a taboo Hold on a second, y'all. Hold on for 1 second. God damn it. All right, my bad, y'all. Just had to quiet the natives down up in here. Goddamn these women, boy. Jesus, keep a bunch of noise up in here all the time. But yeah, and y'all might hear some music Y'all might hear some music in the background because my neighbors next door are having a party and they outside and shit, you know. My Latino neighbors and shit. So y'all might hear some, you know, some dun 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 dun. Y'all might hear some of that shit tonight. But yeah. So we're gonna get on into this, man. And like I said tonight, man, this is a very taboo subject, but we're not gonna talk about it the way y'all think we're gonna talk about it. Notice the title. The title is Involuntary. And when I say involuntary, that means a lot of us don't know it. But I'm going to show y'all something before we begin. All right. Now, I don't know if y'all were watching Sunday when I went on Brother Bernard Raleigh's show, The Grown Man Hour. Right? I don't know if y'all was watching. And we were talking about something called the Oedipus complex. Those of you who don't know about the Oedipus complex, y'all know Oedipus was a king. He killed his father and married his mother, right? That's something that we have in the Black society, right? Oedipus complex. But I went further that day because y'all see these people behind me here. And what you see behind me here are couples, right? And all of these couples that you see behind me here, right? All of these couples are mother and son. Yeah, mother and son. In fact, this couple here, the mother was actually pregnant with her son's baby. And now this story here is kind of old. I think it goes back to about 2017, 2018. But the baby should have been born by now if it's still alive or whatever. Yeah, this is mother and son. They actually got married and had a child. But I want to show y'all something else. Something a little more recent. You see these two people behind me? These two people are cousins, right? They're cousins. And it goes even further than that. Pull this up. I don't know what the hell just happened, folks, but everything just went blank there for a second. But anyway, this is what we're going to do. I want to read this story to y'all so I can give y'all some context about what we got going on here. And I think I'm going to make your skin crawl, but that's what I want to do. I want to make your skin crawl. I'm committed to make your skin crawl. I'm going to make your skin crawl. So let me go ahead and share my screen. So I want y'all to see this. In fact, I want to read it to y'all. All right. Can y'all see that? Can y'all see that? I hope y'all can. Y'all can see that, right? Now it says here, woman dating her cousin. Woman dating her cousin takes intimate snaps to change the stigma of incest. The couple posed in the intimate snaps in a bid to change the stigma around incest. In one of the photos, the woman can be seen locking lips with her cousin. The couple took to social media to share their intimate snaps of their relationship. There's the pictures. Oh, there they are. Now, despite being related, it says, the woman and man claim to be in love with one another. Taken to Twitter to reveal her relationship, the couple said, don't let y'all being cousins stop you from being in love. Can we change the stigma of incest? It shouldn't be limited to who I love because we're related. I'm just happy and in love. Just so happens to be my cousin. What's the deal? Y'all need to get over it. Who I screw, cousin or not. Then there they are, literally kissing cousins. Known as Little March on social media, the woman hit back at the trolls who slammed her relationship as wrong. One follower said, I just want to know your parents. I want to know your parents okay with that. Another added, there's a special place in hell for that. According to The Sun, Little March insists she's not bothered by what people say as she is in love with her cousin. Here's Little March and her cousin. She said, I don't care what anyone says. Y'all not going to shame me. I'm in love. No need to be ashamed of it. Little March said the couple, who haven't mentioned where they're from, previously hid their relationship from their loved ones. She added, I remember growing up, we had to hide our love from our family. And there they are, naked, damn near together. Little March continued, sleepovers were too lit. Now we grown and we don't gotta hide. Blood can't make us any closer, but I'm so glad I fell in love with my cousin. And y'all are lying if you say you never thought about screwing your cousin or thought your cousin is cute. In pictures, one shows the couple touching their tongues together while they sat in their underwear. Now, why am I showing y'all this? Why am I doing this? For what reason, you say? X, why are you telling us this? Why are you doing this, X? Oh, shit, my man Supreme up in here. Brother Supreme, come on, man, if you want to, man. I didn't even see you down there, man. You know I ain't got my glasses on. Come on up if you want to, man. But yeah, why am I showing you these folks? Because this here is voluntary incest. They both know their cousins. They both know their cousins. And they're still decided to be with each other. Involuntary is different. Involuntary is when you do not know. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Now, we know that there's an illegitimacy problem in Black society, right? We talk about it all the time. We talk about it all the time. Now, the problem, well, there's many problems with illegitimacy. But one of the big problems is when you have so many children running around not knowing who their father is. Now, We've heard the stories of the brothers who have 10 and 20 and 30 and 40 kids out there, right? And what if, right? Hypothetically, what if these children of these people who have sired 10 and 20 and 30 and 40 children in the same town, in the same city, in the same county, in the same state? Would it be a stretch? Would it be a stretch to think that these children may run into each other? Would it be a stretch to imagine these children dating? Now, I know y'all say, oh man, that's impossible. That can't happen. But if you think back a few years, I can't remember the brother's name. Maybe some of you out there remember it. There was a football player. I think he was a football player or a basketball player. I'm not sure. He was dating a girl, right? And, they liked each other. He met this girl. He liked her. They went out. They hung out. They were boyfriend and girlfriend, having sex and the whole nine. And after a while, they decided that they wanted to get married. Now, of course, the girl was somewhat old-fashioned because she was raised by her father. So she said, I want you to meet my father. So he comes over to meet the father. And when he comes there to meet the father looks at him and asks him, who's your mama, boy? And once he's told who his mother is, he tells him, hey, you're my nephew. You know why? Because your father is my brother. Now, mind you, this man and this woman had been sleeping together, hanging out together, going on dates, all that, getting ready to get married. And when he finally decided, or should I say, when the woman finally decided to introduce the young man to her father, the father knew something wasn't right. He knew something wasn't right. So he asked him. The boy probably looked like him. I mean, after all, he was his uncle. And he asked him, who your mama, boy? And once he told him who his mother was, he knew. Yeah, you're my nephew. Now, needless to say, those two, I don't believe they got married. I mean, because I know it was just crazy, awkward, and creepy, and skin crawling, and all that. Once that was said, the whole situation must have took a traumatic turn to the right after that. But the reason why that was possible was because the young man didn't know who his father was. Luckily for him, all right, well, not luckily, but when he went to meet this woman's father, his father could tell. He might have looked like his brother. He might have reminded him of his brother. He might have looked like him a little bit. And something inside him wanted to know, where'd you come from, boy? You look too much like my brother. Who are you? He probably was thinking to himself, you got to be my brother's son. You look just like that Negro. Right? Because those of you who have brothers, if you see somebody who looks like your brother, that's going to spark some curiosity in your mind, is it not? So he was able to ascertain that, and that's how it was discovered. I did a show like this a while back And a dude had called into my show. This was back when I was on radio. This was years ago. And he came on and he said, X, he said, I met this girl. We went back to her crib. I went in her room. I laid down on the bed while she was in the bathroom. And he said he was looking at pictures on the wall. And when he looked at one picture over top of the bed, he saw this old man in it. So when she came back, he asked her, he said, who's this old man in this picture? And the girl said, that's my grandfather. And he was like, what? And she said, that's my grandfather. He said, oh shit, that's my grandfather too. Now you see how that works? See, this is the problem with the involuntary incest scenario that I'm laying out for you good folks. When you have a bunch of black folks running around in black society, and many of us don't know who our fathers are, we are susceptible to this. And we're definitely susceptible to this when a big percentage of us rarely leave a 50 square mile radius of where we were born. So if I have 20 children and 15 of those children remain in that area, and 10 of them don't even know who I am, what's stopping them from dating their sister? What's stopping them from dating their brother? What's stopping them? What's stopping them? Because even if you bring the guy home or bring the girl home, who's to say your mama gonna be able to see something? Now she might look at the boy and say, hey, he looked like somebody I used to date. He looked like somebody I let smash. That might be a possibility, but the possibilities are slim, are they not? Now I know I see people in the chat room, they're like, oh man, I don't know about this one, X. That's what makes it so important. You notice how many of the important things that we don't like to talk about. But we have to talk about this. We have to. Because if we don't, maybe, just maybe, we might even be contributing to this ourselves. Think about it. You brothers out there who don't know who your father is. And it may not even necessarily be in the same state that you were raised in, that you grew up with. Right? Who's to say that you didn't bang one of your sisters, one of your cousins? Who's to say? You women out there, who's to say you didn't bang one of your brothers, one of your cousins? Especially when you don't know who your father is. That's why I said involuntary. You have no idea. See, this is the problem, or one of the many problems that exist When we have all of these children running around here with no fathers. All of these children running around here not knowing who their father is. Look at a brother, The Perfect Storm. He said he just met his siblings at age 47, y'all. 47. Just met them. And you trying to tell me that this isn't real? Luckily, he met them and found out who they were. Because what if he'd have ran into them 10 years ago, 15 years ago? Met one of them female siblings of his. Up in the club, up in the bar. She fine as hell. He push up. That's what I'm talking about, folks. And I guarantee you, and I know y'all don't want to hear this, I guarantee you, some of us are products of incest. Let me say that again. I guarantee you, some of us are products of involuntary incest. It's crazy when I was reading about this because I didn't expect to see so much info on it. But I saw story after story after story after story of men talking about women that they met and they dated and found out that that was their cousin. And a lot of these stories were about white folks. So you know it probably affects us tenfold, 20-fold. There's too many of us running around here not knowing who our fathers are. For this not to be a reality. It's probably people out there that we know. We know they mom and daddy is cousins. There's probably people in this chat right here who know people their mom and daddy's related. Now, I know we like to say, you know, it's only white folks and all these other kind of folks and the people in Kentucky and the mountains and all this kind of nonsense, but it's us too, y'all. Yes, us too. Now, I'm not saying it's this high number of us doing it voluntarily. But tonight, we're talking about the involuntary. What we don't know about. See, this is one of the many problems with the lack of fathers, with the lack of family structure. This is one of the many problems with it. This is the problems with gene pools and things of that nature. And I know we don't like to talk about it. We don't like to discuss it. It's too hard to discuss. We can't believe it. No way this is real. It's real. It's real. Now, I know often we get up here and we talk about these things, man, and a lot of the stuff never really goes farther than this. Never goes farther than this box that we sit in front of. But this shit here is happening in real life. This shit is happening in real time. And I guarantee you, Saturday night, it's a possibility that somebody's sleeping with one of their cousins and don't even realize it. And forget that. Let's get past that. What about the people who have children out of that union? Let's go there. What type of problems do those children have? Cognitive problems. Because you know that inbreeding stuff, man, that's bad business. Because y'all all know that we have these deleterious axials, genes in us that are somewhat recessive, right? Now, if two people get together and they share similar genetic codes, those suppressed recessive genes are more likely to be passed on to the child. Babies of incest have cognitive problems. They may not be able to reproduce. Infant diabetes, cerebral palsy, things like that come out of an incestuous mating. Think about some of the people you know. Think about some of the people you know of. Are they slow? Do they have problems? Are their mental faculties not there? They may just be an incest baby. They may just be an incest baby. Because think about it. Think about some of the shit that people do. Think about some of the things that the only explanation for it is some type of cognitive problem, some type of mental problem. Is it because their parents are cousins? Is it because their parents are brother and sister? Could that be the case? Could it be? The brother Perfect Storm says he knew some kids who were a product of brother and sister. Maryland's a slave breeding state. And he's right. He's right. And I know this is really taboo. And I know people are like, why is X talking about this? Well, the reason why I'm talking about it is because I discussed the Oedipus complex on Brother Bernard's show, The Grown Man Hour. So I figured I'd do a spinoff tonight Now, like I said, I was supposed to have Brother BMT because Brother BMT had shared a story with us a while back about was an 11-year-old girl who gave birth to a baby in a bathtub, right? And she had the baby, and they took the baby and put the baby on the porch, right? Now, they called the authorities. When the authorities came, everybody tried to play like, they didn't know where the baby came from. A stork dropped it on the porch. They had no idea what was happening. But after a little bit of prodding and interrogating by the authorities, they eventually copped to the fact that it was her 17-year-old brother who had molested this girl approximately 100 times, got her pregnant. She had the baby while she was 11. Now, the parents were arrested. The 17-year-old brother also was arrested. Now, Brother BMT had an update because this was earlier this year when he talked about it. He was supposed to come with an update on the story. So I don't know if he's going to be able to join us tonight. I'm hoping that he can. He said he wasn't. I think he out on the road tonight. So hopefully he'll tag in tonight on his computer. So we were supposed to be discussing that as well. But when you think about this stuff, man, we often hear about all the reasons for the things that go wrong inside Black society. We talk about the racism. We talk about the white power structure. We talk about inequality. We talk about discrimination. We talk all these things. But what about this? Does this not have an effect on us? Even if it's happening on a very small scale. And God forbid it's happening on a big scale. But even if it's happening on a very minute scale, what are the lives of those children like? Those children who receive those recessive genes from parents who are closely related, whether it be brother and sister, whether it be cousin, whatever. What happens when those children are born and grow and go to school? Are these the children with the learning disabilities? Are these the children who so-called just can't get right? Are these the children who always have problems? Let's go even further. Are these the children who grow up to live life of crime? Are these the children that are in and out of prison? Are these the children who fail at everything? Are these the children who grow up and are the people that you see standing on the overpass when you come off the highway? Let's think about it, folks. Because I know y'all don't want to talk about it. But God damn it, let's think about it. Because we know what's happening. We know it's happening. Too many of us walking around here not knowing who our father is for it not to be happening. Especially when you talk about 60, 70% of us don't even leave a 50 square mile radius of where we were born. I say again, what if we are one of 20 children by one man? 30 children by one man. 40 children by one man. We're all walking around with the same father, with the same DNA running through our veins. And we don't even know who he is. What if he's dead? What if he died before we grew up, became adults? What if he lives on the other side of the world? So you got 10, 20, 30, 40 of us with the same father walking around in the same area. Because come on, man. If it's 10, 20, 30, 40 of us, at least 20, 25 of us are never leaving that area. We're never leaving that area. So we are in that immediate area with all our brothers and sisters. And what about him? What about his brothers, his sisters? What if they have children? Because chances are, if we don't know him, guess what else we don't know? We don't know who his brothers are. We don't know who his sisters are. So that also means we don't know who their kids are. We don't know who their sons and daughters are. Our cousins. Just because we don't, this is in layers, folks. This is in layers. Because if we don't know him, that means we probably don't know his brothers and sisters. And if we don't know his brothers and sisters, we probably don't know who their children are. So not only do we stand a chance of betting our sisters and brothers, there's also a probability of us betting our cousins. Is that not true? Does that not make sense? Am I conflating this, folks? Because let's be honest, what you don't know is what you don't know. And the less you know is equivalent to the more that you don't know. The less you know, the more you don't know. It's bad for the folks out there who don't know who their old man is. That's a tough deal, man. Because that's a part of your family you don't know. So when you got a part of your family that you don't know, what's stopping you from the involuntary, incest, and NegroVille? What's stopping you? What's preventing it? And if you can't prevent that, you can't prevent the inbreeding. So now you have children being born out of these unions. Children who only have one grandfather. Right? They only have one grandfather. Because you and that woman, y'all have the same father. Y'all have different mothers. Y'all have the same father. So you have two grandmothers with only one grandfather. Right? One grandfather. And I told you about the young fellow who came on my show a while back and said he's about to knock the boots of this girl, and saw a picture of his grandfather on her wall and inquired about it, and come to find out it's her grandfather too. So what does that mean? What does that mean? That means they were related. Now I know people have never thought about it this way. They never thought about it this way. Like I said, we understand the problem, the illegitimacy, the millions and millions of bastards that roam Black society. Now, I would like to think that the majority of them know who their father is. But what about the ones who don't? Because you can't tell me a dude who done sired 20 kids, 30 kids, 40 kids. He interacts with them all. He takes care of all 40 of them. Make sure all 40 of them know each other. He's doing all of that. Right? We know that's not true. No, that's not true. It's impossible. It's probably impossible if you got 10 by 10 different women. You got to really do your due diligence. You got 10 baby mamas. Make sure all those kids know each other. You trying to tell me it's easy when you have 20, 30, 40? Half of those children that brother probably don't even go and see. Half of those children, he probably don't even know their names. But those babies don't stay babies forever, man. They eventually grow. They go from toddler, adolescent, teenager, adult. What do adults do? They co-mingle. They date. They screw. They have babies. So who do we blame for this? Who do we put the onus on? Now, of course, we don't put the onus on the people who have suffered through the involuntary incest because they don't know they're doing it. They have no idea. So we have to go back to the parents. We have to go back to the parents. And what if, let's go a little further up the chain with another hypothetical. What if, just what if, the parents suffered from the same thing? What if the people on that level are two people out of the 10, the 15, the 20 siblings sired by one man? They met. They had a kid. Now you got an incest baby meeting up with another incest baby to have a third generation of incest babies. Because this goes deeper. It doesn't end there. What if your grandfather was one of 25 children that didn't know his father? And like I said, don't know his father, don't know his father's people, don't know his father's nieces and nephews. Runs into his cousin, has a baby by her. That baby is you. That baby is you. You're the incest baby. You're already the incest baby. But just what if you don't know your father and your father has 20 more babies out there? And you meet one of your siblings. So now you got incest to the second degree. What's that third generation going to be? What's that third generation of people going to be? Incest baby meets incest baby, has a baby. That baby is an incest baby, meets one of his siblings, has another baby. Now we got a third generation incest baby. Baby born with all kinds of cognitive problems. Matter of fact, let's go. Let me see if I can pull this up. Let's talk about symptoms of inbreeding. Let's see what we have here. Blow this up. I'll go ahead and share this with y'all right quick. Right quick. That's not what I wanted. Hold up, y'all. Had another one up here. Brother Nagone, what's good with it, man? Oh, hold up. Let me drop Nagone the link, y'all. I usually don't put the link in the chat, but I do it for my brother. Come on up in here, Brother Nagone. Come on up in here, man. The Perfect Storm said babies born with helmets. Yeah, man. That shit real. And I know folks don't like it. They don't want to talk about this stuff, man. They don't want to talk about this stuff. It's too much. It's too much to talk about. I get it. It's too much. It's too much to talk about because we want to believe that it's not real, that it's not true, that this doesn't happen. But it does happen. It does happen. You know? And some of us right here, we're probably incest babies. We don't know. We don't know. Think about it. Those of you who don't know who your grandfather is, those of you who have never met your grandparents, how do you know you're not product of an incestuous relationship? How do you know? How do you know? You ever wondered why you never met your grandparents? You ever wondered why you've never met your grandparents? Ever wondered why? Why was that secret kept from you? Why?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, Brother Nagone, what's good with it, man?
Oh man, I got a bad connect.
Oh shit.
Oh,
You might have
let me
to
see.
drop down and come back in.
Listen, I'm gonna go out and come back in.
Okay. 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 Yeah, have you ever wondered that? How come you've never met your grandparents? Never seen pictures of them? Have you ever wondered about it? Never thought about it? Because you know, if you only have one grandfather, you know what that means, don't you? That means mom and dad were siblings. That's what that means. Brother Nagone? Brother Nagone? Can you hear me?
Hey, can you hear me, bro?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but it sounds like you're chirping. I can't get a good sound from you. I don't know why.
I'm chirping. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you
Can
better
y'all hear
now.
me out there? In the chat, can y'all hear me? Somebody say something. God damn it.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, you can hear me? I
Yeah,
want to
can hear
see
you,
how
brother.
I sound. How it sound in the audience, y'all? How's it sound out there? Because I might have to switch mics or something, because this mic has been acting funny lately. I have to switch to this other joint. Okay, good. They said they can hear. Yeah, what's good with it, man? Can you hear me now? Brother Nagone. Paging.
Well, you're breaking up again.
Paging, Brother Nagone.
You're
Well,
breaking up funny on that mic.
They say they can hear you out there, though. They say they can hear you.
Can they hear me?
Yeah, they say they can.
Like
They
I
say
can
they
hear you
can.
now, but then you like now you're sounding funny. I don't know why.
Oh.
And now you sound perfect.
Are y'all experiencing
What's going on
that
with the
in
sound?
the audience? Are y'all experiencing that in the chat? And nobody's saying anything.
Wow.
Nobody
This is
out there saying that. Well, they're saying they can
not going good
hear.
at all.
Son of Israel said,
You can hear me,
"Oh,
but
they
I
said
can't. I don't know. You just
they said they can hear
just
both
StreamYard,
of us."
bro.
Yeah, StreamYard is kind of janky, man. StreamYard's janky as
Yeah, but I'm having a
goddamn.
hard time hearing you.
I don't know what the hell is going on, man. They said that they can hear us, though. They're saying in the chat they can hear us.
Okay, I can hear. I can hear you a little better now.
Okay.
Woo. All right, go ahead, brother. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Let's see if we can work this.
Okay. Let me see. See if I can turn my mic volume up just a little here. How about now? Can you hear me now? Button to go.
I mean, you're still breaking up
Can you hear me now?
you still. Yeah, can you hear me?
Damn. Yeah, I can hear you.
A little bit, a little bit.
All right. I'll just turn my mic up a little bit. Let me see if I turn it up some more. How about now? My levels seem to be
I can hear
operating
you.
the way they're supposed to. Can you hear me now? How about now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
How about now?
I can hear you, but what happens is it goes in and out. Like it goes in and out where it sounds real choppy.
Oh, shit. Well, they're saying in the chat that they can hear both of us.
If that's on end. The chat can hear us, right?
Yeah, they said they can hear us good. I hope my mic ain't too loud, y'all, busting y'all eardrums and shit. They probably like, turn that shit down, X.
I don't know.
You're killing us.
I think it's the mic you have. I don't know, because it comes through
You
real
sure?
clear and then it doesn't.
Yeah, well, they say they can hear everything over there.
I mean,
they said they can hear everything. They said they can hear both of us.
Like there's a fluttering sound. the back. I'm hearing this fluttering sound and go in and out.
Oh shit.
Boy, this is a mess.
Hold up. Well, let me turn my camera off. It might be a
Nice.
bandwidth thing that we're experiencing. How about now?
No, I'm still getting the same bullshit.
Oh shit, man. You might have to drop down and come back on, man. Drop down again. Now you can hear me?
Okay, right now you sound perfect. Now you sound clear.
Okay. Okay. Well, go ahead.
So keep talking.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. What you got?
Man,
what you got on the topic? Yeah, go ahead, man.
You hear me?
We're talking about this involuntary incest shit, man. Did you hear that?
Oh shit! Damn.
Well, drop down and come back on,
man. Hold it. Can they hear me?
They're saying they can,
Can
but
they
you
hear
might
me?
have to. You might have to drop down and come back up.
I can hear you perfectly right now.
Okay, I think we got a little bit of a delay. This shit happens.
I can hear you perfectly right now.
Okay, well, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, I can hear you. All right, it's voluntary incel. I have a good friend. He has he's his grandfather. I'm just gonna say this. You know, that they're in the Midwest. He has 52 children. He's in a smaller city. 52 children, 37 different women. And they're in the city, I would say about 500,000 people. Now, that may sound like a lot, but when you have 52 children, when you have 52 children and they're all running all around the place, I think the odds of something happening between two closely related people that don't know that they're related goes up immensely. And there's a lot of this that has gone on, and in smaller communities, but in some larger ones. But 52 kids, a lot of them don't even know of each other, and they're running around. You're going to have incidents. Fairly small population, but the crime rate is pretty high. I think some of that is because of people who are running around, quite frankly, who are just the blood relations are too close. These
Incest
people
babies
have made it with people that are just the blood relations are too close. Crazy ass people running around. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say that. I know some folks don't want to hear that, but the blood relations are too close. There's a lot of this going on. People running around who've got relatives, uncles, and so forth. 20 children, 30 kids. Other guys have no kids, but they do, and women and all that who look good. Other guys then he has kids with another family somewhere, with another woman, and they get together. I think that goes on a lot. I think it's involuntary for sure. It goes on a lot because when my man was talking about his grandpops with his 52 children, and I've heard of this more than once. This is going on quite a bit, and it has gone on quite a bit, and I think it has created, in some respects, some issues. Not, it's created some issues. I'm just gonna put it out there, man. I know some people are not gonna like hearing that, but some of this shit that we do, it doesn't make sense. I think that there is an inbred aspect going on. I'm not gonna say how big it is because it's hard to track a lot of this, but I believe it's bigger than we may think, and I think it has caused some of the craziness you have. Like some of these problems you can't fix. You can't fix crazy. And I think if it's some of this is genetic, you're gonna fix some of this. You're gonna have to, damn near have blood tests before you link up. I'm sorry. I think in some of these towns and villages and cities, smaller cities, where people now, but have had them in the past, and they're grown running around. But I know that this shit's going on. X.
Well, now I'm a true believer because I've been talking about it tonight for like the past hour. I believe some of us are incest babies. I mean, come on, man. You just spoke about someone who has 52 children. 52.
37 different women. 37. Some of them didn't even know of each other. Many of them didn't.
And people want to act like this isn't a possibility because, like I said earlier, children grow. They become teenagers. They become adults. They co-mingle. They date. They fuck. They have kids. So if you have that many children running around sired by the same man in a small town, how hard is it for them not to run into each other? How hard is it for them not to hook up? How hard is it for them to have a baby together in a small population?
And this kind of behavior is passed down because this young man that I know, he's gone to different countries and have sired a few different kids in a few different countries. Now, he's gotten older and said, oh, I didn't know what I was doing as a youngster. But he's kind of carried on that tradition. So this goes on. And, you don't know. You can't necessarily take a look at someone and tell whether you're related or not. I've heard some people say, yeah, this boyfriend and girlfriend, they look alike. I'm saying if you ever hear somebody say that, be a little worried because they may actually be related. That may be a possibility, and we all, my I'm saying, listen, I'm just calling it out. I'm just saying it because my own first cousin, we're all close. My first cousin came, beautiful young lady. She looked very good. If I myself did not know this was family, I would probably link up with her. If I didn't know this was family, but we known each other for a long time, so that wouldn't happen. But we know that we're family. If we didn't know we were family, that could be this fair game. Next thing you know, you're giving birth to Charles Manson. Give birth to Charles Manson, man. I mean, because you don't even know you're related like that. You first cousins. That's like brother and sister. Very close to
Yep.
The genetic game, very close. The genetic dice, very close. Very close. They talk about Europe. They talk about in Europe, like all the wars they had for all these centuries. These families were so inbred. They were so inbred. I mean, and you looked at the pictures of like, the Kaiser Wilhelm and Queen Elizabeth, and then you looked at, the Romanov family and Nicholas Romanov, and you look at these people, they look exactly alike. The Wilhelms and the Romans, they look exactly like. Why? Because they're first cousins, and they were inbred because their cousins were having, that's how close they even phenotypically looked like each other. And then they were crazy as fuck because they always going to war and all creating all kind of shit. They were crazier than a motherfucker because the bloodlines were too close. That's what caused most of the wars there. They were too close. Inbred motherfuckers running around tearing each other out the frame. That's what we see, I think, a large part in our community too. There's a part of that, and I know we don't talk about that. We keep that hidden, but there's a lot of that going on. People don't want to talk about it. I don't try to make a big deal about it because I don't know how easy you could control it, but I think, there used to be a point in time where in marriage, when you got married, you used to have to take a blood test. They used to have that.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're doing that today. Do you remember years ago, they used to make you take blood tests because they knew that was a real possibility. Back in the older days, they knew that. In the old South and shit like that, they That shit was going on. Appalachian Mountains and all that kind of stuff. You have, that's among white folks and shit. So that shit, black folks, what's going on amongst us. You used to take a blood test just to make sure. Oh, hold on 1 second. You got the same archetypes here. You got some of the same genetic markers. It's real close. Oh shit.
Oh snap.
That DNA
y'all didn't screw already, did you?
Close.
Did y'all screw already?
Y'all ain't screwed. It look like y'all came from the same mother or something. What's going on? What's up? Yeah, that used to be the case. Because and now they stopped all that. And I'm saying in some of these communities that are not that big, and you have some of these ridiculous crime rates that you shouldn't see in a very small place. I think there's an inbred factor going on up in there. I'm sorry to say it, but I'm gonna call that shit out. Some folks are gonna say, "Man, shut the fuck up." I hear you. At the end of the day, when I start seeing folks walking around, grandpops, 52 kids, 37 different women in a very small area, these kids are running around in that small area as well. They're gonna be linking up, and he's not the only one who was doing it. They're gonna be linking up unknowingly, not saying that they have any knowledge of each other or they know anything about it. They have no idea. But if you start going through their family albums, you start, who's that right there? That's grandpa. Oh, that's my grandpa. What? Really? Oh, really? What?
I was just telling the folks earlier, man. I was just telling the folks earlier, a brother was on my show, man, a few years back. Same exact story. He hooked up with some girl, went to her house, and was in her room, and she had this picture of this old fella over top of her bed, and he asked her who it was, and she said it was her grandfather, and he was like, damn, that's my grandfather too. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh,
I see the good Doc in the house. What's good with it, Doc? I see you up there. Speaking of that, that's a good segue because we're gonna take a little break because I'm about to come back with some graphic shit that's gonna really make your skin crawl. But we're gonna take a little station identification because I need to show y'all this shit here. All right. So just hold your horses there, brother. They're going for about 5 minutes. Yeah. Y'all know we are starting a new series on the old T.P.O.T YouTube page. A little something that I like to call Ask the Doc. And what we're going to be doing, good folks, is I'm going to get some doctors in here, some PhDs and some medical professionals and psychologists. They will be coming through on Thursday nights, and they will be taking your questions. Next week, we're going to have the one and only Dr. Dunbar. Well, he's actually over here. Dr. Dunbar will be in the house next week. And like I said, he will be taking your questions. I believe Dr. Dunbar has a PhD in education, I believe. So he's the STEM man. So you want to be taking those questions. You want to be shooting those questions up so Dr. Dunbar can answer them. Then the following week, we have the one and only Dr. Olatunde will be in the house. And she is a pain specialist. And she will be coming through the following Thursday. Then, after that, I ain't got the thumbnail up. Don't be mad at me, Doc. I ain't put the thumbnail in the system. The one, the only, my friend, the good Dr. Yaya, will be in the house the following week. And you know that Dr. Yaya is a psychologist and an anthropologist. She has a doctorate in both. So you can ask some psychology shit and some anthropology shit if you want to. Yeah. So that's what we're going to have going on, man, for the next couple of weeks. The Ask the Doc series. kicks off next week. So make sure you have your black behinds in here. Like I said, next week, Dr. Dunbar. The following week, Dr. Olatunde. And then the week after that, the one and only Dr. Yaya, friend of the T.P.O.T YouTube page, will be in the house. So make sure you have your black behinds here. But yeah, it's crazy, man, because we have to understand this, and I was saying this earlier, right? If you don't know who your father is, there's a pretty good chance you don't know who your father's siblings are, right? If you don't know who your father is, you probably don't know who your father's brothers are, who your father's sisters are. You know, you don't know, right? You don't know. So if you don't know who your uncles and aunts are, that means you probably, what's good, Brother Taylor? I see you up there, brother. That means you don't know who your cousins are because you don't know your aunts and uncles, simply because you don't know who your father is. So if you don't know who your cousins are, what's stopping you from dating them? What's stopping you from sleeping with them? What's stopping you? Unless you happen to see them and notice some similarities and say, hey, that look like that might can be my cousin. But how many people are thinking like that? How many people are thinking like that? And I said before, what if you're a triple incest baby? Say your grandmother and your grandfather, right? Say they had you and they both got the same father and they didn't know, right? Or they had your mom or your dad, right? And now your mom or your dad is an incest baby, right? And they mess around and meet up with a cousin or a sister that they didn't know they had. And they link up, have a baby. That baby's you. So not only are your grandparents incest babies, your parents are incest babies. So what does that make you? You're an incest baby, right? Right or wrong? Right or wrong? And all this time,
These are facts.
you don't know it. You don't even know it.
These are
There lies the problem. Go ahead, Brother Nagone. Brother
Hey
Nagone.
X, do you we used to have blood tests before you got married? Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my parents told me about it. Said
Yeah,
they
can
had
you
to
hear
take a
me?
blood test. Yeah, I can hear you. My parents said they had to take a blood
Hey,
test. Freaking Supreme
yeah,
is crazy. He said,
yeah,
I see
that used to
shit.
be.
Go ahead, Brother Nagone. I think we just got a little bit of a delay, man. So just go ahead, brother.
Now, yeah. Now you freewheeling. There's no blood test, no nothing. Folks, folks are just out here just rolling, and you have guys out here dropping, and it's not a lot of guys. It's a few, because it's not most guys are not doing this. It's a few, but the guys that are doing it, they are prolific, and they're having many, and it's a dangerous circumstance. Like I said, plenty of guys that I know of, 20, 30 kids, 40
Mm,
kids, 50 kids. Not that I know them personally, but people that I've heard of, certainly stories about and so forth. And I have no need to even doubt it, because I know guys will do that that are just running all over the place. And you may have some guys who may do this, and they may run down south, or they may go up north, and they hit a few different places. But you have guys doing this in their area, man. Within 100-mile radius, and they're out there just because that's how most people are. They don't travel all over the place, so they're out there doing this. And there is that factor, and I've heard this spoken about many times in our community. And smaller cities, smaller communities, where these dudes around here, you will run into this. And I believe that's caused some problems, some aspects of some of the dysfunction in our communities is from some of this. I'm sorry to say it, because some of this is just crazy, and you just can't fix crazy. And I believe there's a genetic component to it. And I don't care what anybody tells me, that's a fact. That's a fact. And if you have any more information on this, X, please break it out and and elucidate upon this a bit more.
Well, I think we can, for the most part, man. We know that this shit is possible. We know it is. Now, I know we probably don't want to talk about it. I don't even really think we need any scientific evidence of anything. The simple fact that, you got people running out, you got people out here with 30, 40, 50 kids. The whole incest thing is highly probable, especially when they don't know each other. Especially when they don't know each other. I mean, come on. And we're not just talking about siblings, brothers and sisters. We're talking about cousins and everything else, because once again, I say again, I can't say this enough. If you don't know who your father is, there's a pretty good chance you don't know who your father's siblings are, which means you probably don't know who your cousins are either. All right?
Damn.
That's just the truth.
There's no way you can deny it.
I mean, that's just what it is. Some of us in here right now, incest babies, don't even know it. You ever wonder?
Damn. And I'm sure.
You ever wonder why one of your eyes is lower than the other? You ever wonder why? You ever wonder why one of your damn hands is shorter than the other? You ever wonder why you got this big ass tongue, or one of your damn feet got 6 toes on it and the other one only got 4? That's probably why. Because you're an incest. Because you're an incest baby. I mean, you ever wonder why? And it may not even be you. Okay, fine. Say it's not you. Okay. Say it's not you. Say it's your girl. Say it's your boyfriend. Say it's your husband. You ever wonder why one of his ears is smaller than the other? You ever wonder why you ever wonder why he has 3 testicles instead of 2? You ever wonder that? Did you just kind of overlook it? Did you overlook it? Did you ever wonder why your wife has 2 areolas on each breast instead of 1? Have you ever wondered that when you look at her? Did you just think it was just some crazy birth defect? Well, in a sense, it is, because she's probably an incest baby. That is why. That is
man. We used to talk about that shit. We used to laugh, but they used to always say that shit, man. You don't know. There was an old term my father used to say was an assistant, and we used to laugh at that and thought it was funny. But I think from where that kind of joke came from, when they were laughing at people who really stupid, I think there was a lot of truth behind some of that. That's why And I'm wrong with you, man. It's your mother, father, brother, and sister, man. So
Yeah.
I think, people laughed about that stuff, but I believe that this really was going on. I think it went on a lot. And when I sat, I thought about the marriage certificates where you had to take blood tests, everything else like that. That was a big part of that. That was a big part of trying to avoid that, because that was a factor in the community. We wanted to make sure that wasn't going on. But now with the single mama-ism and the baby mama game and all that kind of stuff, so the marriage game, is different. But just all this hooking up that's going on out here right now, you have no way of really tracking that. And this is something that could run amok. Like we said, you and I were talking about this a little bit before, Brother X. We were saying, some of this crime and shit we have seen in some of these communities, in these smaller communities, not the big ones, these smaller communities that, that have kind of, inordinately high rates, 150,000, 200,000 people, and you have 120, 130, 150 murders, 200 murders, maybe close to 300 murders in a small spot like that. It's, and it's not so much drug related. It's just people tearing each other out the frame. I think there's some incest factors going on behind. I think that quietly is kept going on. It's going on, and you can't fix crazy. I mean, I'm sure I don't know if Doc Phoenix is around, but if somebody like that was around, he might be able to speak to that a little better in some respects. But I do believe that I believe some of this has been tracked. I actually do believe that some of it has been. And but I think it's I think it's somewhat I think it's a little bit taboo. I think we don't want to talk about that. I don't think we want to.
Absolutely not.
Broach some of that subject. I don't think we want to talk about that.
That's why it's important. That's why it's important. This is why it's important, because we don't want to talk about it. Because me, I got a thing where I always say, stop keeping the damn secrets. I think we as Black people, we keep way too many secrets. We keep these secrets because for some reason we feel like, it's the whole don't talk about what goes on in this house syndrome, and because we keep these secrets, and not only that, if it's going on, I mean, we're talking about involuntary, but there's a lot of voluntary shit going on. That's why I wish BMT was here, man, because I was telling everybody about the story I was telling the story about the 11-year-old girl who was being molested by her 17-year-old brother, and she gave birth to a baby, and they left the baby on the porch and tried to say they didn't know where it came from and also kind of nonsense. But, from a little bit of prodding and interrogating by the authorities, come to find out he had been molesting his little sister, man, for like forever. And she eventually got pregnant and had the baby, and the parents knew what was going on. The mother, and I think it was a stepfather, they knew what was going on. They knew exactly what was going on, but they were keeping the secret. Okay? They had the wherewithal to make up a story and say the stork left the damn baby on the porch. They had the wherewithal to come up with this grand scheme of what happened and all that, but they didn't have the wherewithal to stop this shit.
Ooh, oh man, damn that shit. Oh man, that's a huge problem. Huge.
Yes.
Huge. Many families have this going on, where this is going on. We're not talking about the involuntary, but the voluntary. And folks know they got their chest in that family walking around. Stay away from Uncle, Z. He gonna try to fuck. And they got these guys walking around in their families doing this shit.
Well, this is the thing. This is the thing, Brother Nagone. This is what pissed me off, and we getting a little sidetracked here, but I don't care. Now, when we talk about this kind of stuff, right? Everybody will say, well, this is what people. Yeah, this is what people do and also kind of nonsense. But see, this is the thing. We know a big percentage of black children get molested. Okay, we can debate over the numbers and say it's this percent, that percent, and all this kind of stuff. But whatever percent it is too damn much, right? Now, and it's usually by somebody close. It's not, like I always say, it's not somebody dropping out of the sky, molesting the kid and going back up. It's not Santa Claus coming down the chimney and molesting the kids once a year. No, it's usually somebody close, right? And usually it's family members that are doing it. But this is the kicker. Yep, it's Uncle Jimmy,
it's an
cousin,
aunt,
and somebody.
it's an
All
aunt,
right. Yep.
the
Yep.
uncle, aunt, cousin.
Yep. And what we'll do is, we'll keep the secret about this incestuous
Too.
pedophilic shit that Aunt Mary is doing, Uncle Jimmy is doing. We'll keep the secrets about it, right? Now, these children will grow up, right? Eventually, right? And whether it be 10, 15, 20 years later, these kids grow up and the person who was molesting the person who was molesting them, right? This person is still invited to the Christmas party. This person is still invited to the family reunion, Thanksgiving dinner, graduation parties and shit like that. And everybody walks around and pretend this person has done nothing. Not only does everybody else walk around and pretend that this person has done nothing, they walk around pretending like they've done nothing, and so does the people they victimized. They walk around and act like nothing ever happened. They walk around and pretend like this dude wasn't molesting the kids 15 years ago. And not only that, what's even worse, right? I tell you how good we are at keeping the secrets. We will let children that are the same age of the children that this dude molested, they're walking all around there too. They're all around there, milling about around this guy, because everybody's pretending nothing went wrong, nothing happened. It's a big secret. We shall not talk about it. We still invite these people to the party. We still invite these people to the wedding reception. We still invite these people to Thanksgiving dinner. We still invite these people to the New Year's Eve celebration. Why? When we know he was molesting the children 15 years ago, 20 years ago. Why do we walk around and pretend like nothing happened? Even the people he molested, they walk around and pretend like nothing happened. That's how good we are at keeping the secrets, Brother Nagone. Go ahead, you got it. Brother Nagone. Shit. I think we got like a crazy delay, y'all. I mean, we got either that or something's going on with Brother Nagone's mic. Something might be going on with his mic. Yeah. Brother Keep It Techie, you are correct. During slavery time, they did that. They would put a bag or something over your head and just throw you right on in there and make y'all breed. You didn't know if that was your mother or your cousin or your sister or your nothing. Put a bag over your head. That's where the paper bag over the woman's head came from.
Bro, you kind of hitting real hard, because that's big in our community. It's big. That's not. I'm sorry. Can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead. I can hear you.
Can you hear me, bro? Can you hear me, fam?
Yep. I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yep. I can hear you. I think we just got a bit of an overlap delay or something, Brother Nagone. Did you hear that? You might have to drop down and come back in, man, if you can hear me. All right. Yep. Brother Blexit, you are correct. That is what we're doing. That's exactly what we're doing. That's exactly what we're doing. We are trying to, it's like we're almost going back in time, brother. We're going back in time. It baffles me because you would think that, because you always hear the stories about, you know, what we go through and how hard it is being black and white supremacy and the white power structure and the inequality and on and on and on and on and on. We hear this shit. You would think that we would try a little harder to avoid this kind of crap. And to be honest with you, I mean, we always lay into the women, and rightly so, because how the hell are you baby mama number 25? How the hell are you baby mama number 16? How the hell are you how the hell are you baby mama 5? Like, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. And not to say that the brothers are totally off the hook, because you got brothers out there. You just heard Brother Nagone talk about, you know, dude had 52 kids, man. He sired 52 children. You know damn well some of his kids done growed up in fucking. And he said they all lived in a small town. You know his kids growed up and they fucking. You know they are. You know they are. Some of them done did it. Some of them done had an incest baby. Go ahead to go. Go ahead.
No, I'm popping back in. You damn right. That's exactly what's going. You know exactly what's going on. Some of these incest babies, as you say, once again, are born inside of families that know, and they hide it. They keep that stick. They keep that shit going. What's the percentage of that going on as well? There's a lot of stuff that's going on here that we don't talk about. That add on to what I call the genetic load, which creates certain certain issues that we have. I can't say exactly what percentage of this is, because I don't want to understand where the figures are, but I'm not really very sure about it. But I believe that it's definitely it plays a role. How significant? Hard to say, but some of the stuff I see that looks like you can't fix crazy with is I'm going to explain some of that off to genetic inbreeding. Some of the stuff you just see people just rolling up doing ill shit for no reasons. And there's mental illness, but I think some of this mental illness is driven by genetic defects that are a product of inbreeding.
Yeah, man, because inbreeding, man, is, now they say, right? They say that, a person can be inbred and nothing, nothing will happen to
That's
them.
true.
But
That's true.
the chances of them having problems is very much increased. And we got the good Dr. Yaya in the house. She can correct me if I'm wrong, because she is a doctor. I'm not. But I mean, there are problems with inbreeding. I was reading I was reading some articles from, places like Science Direct and places like that. And, they say that one of the main effects of inbreeding is cognitive problems. Not only cognitive problems, the children of inbred parents have a tendency to not be able to reproduce. Infant diabetes, where a kid can be born with diabetes. All kind of shit can happen. For the simple fact that your parents are related. Because you're calling. When I come to your house and you say you want to introduce me to your dad and your uncle, and when I get there, there's only one guy standing there. So, you got that kind of shit going on, man. You got that kind of shit going on. So, as if we as black people need more damn problems. As if we need more. We have enough problems as it is, man. We don't need this crap. But it's here. It's here. And I think what needs to happen is we need to be I think we need to be a little more astute, man. Especially when you're talking about our mating practices, our breeding practices, and everything that circles around those two things. I think we need to be a little more astute, man. If you run into somebody, man, and they don't have a parent and you don't have a parent, if they don't know their father and you don't know your father, guess what? That's probably not the person you should be around, man. Because chances are y'all daddy might be the same person. Your pops might just be the same person. I'm just saying, man. I mean, I think when it comes to that kind of stuff, man, I think we need to be a little more investigative, man. We need to probe a little. We need to make sure. I think we need to start making sure, man. I don't think that's a bad thing.
I think. Can you hear me?
Yep. Go ahead. You got it.
Yeah. I think we need to go back to doing blood tests again, man. That's what I think.
Yep.
Back to doing the old-fashioned blood test, man. That'll cut back a lot of bullshit.
Yep. Because not for nothing, at least you'll know, whether or not you're related to a person, whether or not your damn genetics are close, whether or not it's your cousin that you've been sleeping with. Because if you're going to a blood test, that means y'all about to get married, which means y'all done already fucked. So at the very least, you'll know to stop fucking the person. At least you can stop doing that. At least you can stop doing that. All right. Now I know y'all are gonna probably disregard this stream that y'all seeing tonight. I know y'all are gonna disregard this stream that y'all seeing tonight, but you can't tell me that when you go look at that woman tonight, you're gonna be like, hey, who's your daddy again, girl? You gonna think about it. You gonna think about that shit tonight. Like, wait a minute. I was watching X and NAGONE earlier, man, and they was talking some crazy shit. Now, you said you don't know your father, right, girl? You don't know him, right? I don't know mine's either. I think we need to go get this damn DNA test, girl. Yeah, you gonna think about it, man. You're going to think about it. Those of you who don't, and even those of you who do, okay, mind you, you may know your father. Shoot, your father could have lived with you all your young life. But what if he got a few side kids out there? Y'all saw the brother early, brother Perfect Storm. He said he didn't meet his siblings until he was 47. He said he had other siblings out there and he didn't meet them till he was 47. The man got damn near 50 years old before he met his siblings, his brothers and sisters. So how hard would it have been to fuck him? He didn't even know him. What if he'd have ran into one of his sisters or his cousins and pushed up 20 years ago and had kids? Those would have been incest babies. Babies would have had all kind of problems. One hand, 1 foot, 3 eyes, 2 mouths, a tail, all kinds of shit. And they'd have been wondering what's going on. Be like, damn, why all our babies being born with 1 arm? Why all our babies being born with 1 foot? Why all our babies being on with eyes on the back of their head? They would have been wondering what was going on. And all this time, the answer would have been they're incest babies. Because, see, y'all got the same father. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. I'm telling you, the brother wrote in here earlier tonight and said he just met his siblings when he was 47 ago. You trying to tell me he couldn't have banged one of his sisters? Banged one of his cousins? He didn't know who they were. Y'all better think about this shit tonight. I know you are. You probably on the phone with your girl right now. Do you think we might be cousins, girl? You and I might be cousins, girl. We just might be cousins. I had to talk about this shit tonight, y'all. You know, because like I said, I was on Brother Bernard Riley's, man, the top of the week, man. And it just made me think about this, man. And I wanted to get up here and I wanted to talk about it, you know. And cause see, I don't think this is a good idea. Go ahead, man.
Well, I would.
I lost you, man. Can't hear you, brother Nago. You might have to drop down and come back on, man. StreamYard does this shit, man. It does it.
I'm gonna say this.
Why. Oh shit! Now he just fell off. He must be on the road or something. Yeah, man. Just crazy, man. Like, you know. And brother Elgo says, let me put it on a big board. Brother Elgo says the good news is that the black community doesn't have the same rates of rare birth defects that the Amish community has, so it must be a low percent. Yeah, I would have to agree with that, brother Elgos. I would have to agree with that. I don't think it's a overwhelming problem, but it's a problem inside of black society that I know exists. And the question is this: how is black society suffering from that small percentage of people who are incest babies? Because you know some of us are damn incest babies now. You know some of us are. So
can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
AX, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I just want to say very quickly. Okay. I just want to say very quick. If your boyfriend or your girlfriend look like you, y'all look similar, go get that test.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all look alike, go get that test. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, do it before y'all start fucking. Now, if
No,
y'all
no.
already,
If y'all look alike, go get.
yeah, yeah. I mean, do it
Then you
before
better run
y'all
and get that.
start fucking. Yes, do it before y'all start fucking. Don't start fucking yet, because if y'all already fucking, it's already too late. Yeah, it's already too late. You've done it. You've committed the act. So yeah, you've committed the act, and you will have that scarlet letter on your forehead for the rest of your life. That scarlet eye. We just gonna put an eye right in the middle of your damn eyes and shit. Yeah, man, I'm telling you. I know some of
Hey
us
X,
are
X,
incest babies. Go
hey,
ahead. Go ahead.
hey X. I'm gonna drop. Only reason why is just because this StreamYard's messed up. I'm gonna see what's going on my
Okay.
side. But thanks for inviting me on here tonight, man. I'm sorry I came in a little bit late. I had some stuff to do, but we'll chop it up some more. But StreamYard just ain't acting right. I don't know. All right.
Yeah, well, I can hear you
I'm up.
now.
Oh yeah. Well, I can hear you a little bit, but it goes in and out. I don't know what the hell's wrong with this thing. And just
Yeah.
I don't want to keep
StreamYard
dropping
is
and coming back
janky.
and forth. This is it.
StreamYard is janky,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
It was doing the same shit when I was on Brother Bernard's. It was doing the same shit, except that it was on I think it was my end that day, I think it's your end now though. I think it's on your end.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
I
I don't
appreciate
know.
you coming through though, man.
Thank you, fam. Thank you, family.
Absolutely.
We'll kick it up. But yeah, once again,
Oh yeah.
y'all look alike. If you a couple of y'all look alike, go get that test, man. Get that
Mm-hmm.
test. Don't take any chances.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Don't take any.
But Brother T. Gill said what I said.
All right.
Like, all right, peace. Brother T. Gill said blood tests won't matter if you already slept and had kids with us. Like, okay. So okay. Let's say that's the case, right? You and her are two of, say, the 52 children of the guy that Nagone was just up here talking about. Say y'all are two of those 52 children, right? And y'all didn't know your father because he's somewhere else, he's a Rolling Stone. And y'all get together, y'all have these funny looking kids with small heads and six fingers and 1 foot smaller than the other type shit. Now, y'all have these kids, and then you find out that y'all are cousins or y'all are brother and sister. What do you do? What do you do now? Right? You didn't know before, but now you know. Now you have children involved, right? That are yours, even though you had them by your half sister, right? They're still your children. So what do? Now, of course, you will be called Uncle Daddy. All right. You'll be called Uncle Daddy, right? You be Uncle Daddy. But what do? Do you leave the woman? Do you leave the funny looking kids? What do? What do you do once you find out? Because obviously you're living with the woman, y'all done had kids and all that shit. You in love with her, even though she's your sister. Even though she's your sister, you're in love with her, right? You love those kids. They're yours, right? Right? So what do you do? What would y'all do? I want to know, what would you brothers do? What would you do if you found out that the woman you're with is your cousin or your sister? You and her have the same father. What would you do? Because I know if I found out that me and my wife, well, there's no way in hell, but if I was to find out that me and my wife are cousins, man, I'm leaving immediately. As soon as I find out, I'm gone. I ain't waiting. I'm gone. I was gonna say, take the secret to your grave. You cannot back down. Yeah, but see, that's the thing, though, brother L Ghost, man. Don't we do enough of that, brother? Don't we do enough of that taking shit to the grave stuff? What has that gotten us? What has that gotten us? The whole keep the secret thing. I mean, well, isn't that the reason why a lot of things that go on in black society, isn't that the reason why they go on right now? Isn't that something that already messes us up? Not just in the short term, but in the long term, because we just keep the secrets. We don't say anything. Take it to the grave. I'm not sure if that's the answer, brother L Ghost. I mean, if you found out that your wife was your cousin, I mean, now both of y'all know. Y'all done had kids. Don't you think you would be doing your children a disservice to not tell them? For the simple fact that not only is it crazy and screwed up, I mean, there's medical ramifications to it. There's biological ramifications to it. There's genetic ramifications to it. Because children of inbreeding have a tendency to have, or should I say they're more likely than a child who's not inbred to develop these things, to be born with these genetic problems, to mess around and be a victim of these deleterious genes that are suppressed within all of us. But you have two people with similar genetic codes having a child makes it more likely for these recessive genes to be passed on to the child because the genetic codes are so similar. And then there's other ramifications to it. I don't know, brother L Ghost. I don't know because, I mean, fine, right? Don't destroy the future of the children. If they have these genetic problems, you've already destroyed them because they say that. Let me pull this up. Inbreeding and the risk of late onset complex disease, right? It says inbreeding has been shown in almost all species to be associated with impairment of function because of the homozygosity of the recessive alleles. This occurs across a wide range of traits and suggests a large number of deleterious alleles in the human genome. I can't even talk tonight. This has been predicted from the reduced early survival of offspring in the first cousin marriages and from similar results in other organisms, as most identified genetic variants causing complex disease in humans are partially recessive. we predict that inbreeding in humans might influence a wide range of complex diseases. You hear that? And that's not from me. That's from BMJ, the Journal of Medical Genetics. In fact, I will put the link in the chat so y'all can read it for yourselves. That's not me talking. That's these genetic experts. I mean, we gotta we gotta take this seriously. Okay? This is something that we gotta take seriously. We gotta take this kind of crap seriously, man. Because this is a serious threat. Not only to the children, but to the population at large. Because if we got a bunch of incest babies running around out there, right? What's bound to happen? We're going to see a bigger onset of these complex diseases that are written in this article. We're going to see a bigger onset of cognitive problems, right? I believe when your blood type is too close, that also is a factor in children being born with cerebral palsy and things of that nature. So this is something we could probably avoid. We could avoid. And what I was going to say earlier, before Nagone had left, is that what if, all right, follow me here. What if the people running around shooting folks in the head and stabbing folks over $5 and murdering people over a jacket or killing them over something so infinitesimal? What if the people doing it are the incest babies? What if it is the incest babies that are doing it? What if it's them? Brother Nagone alluded to it earlier. He said he believes that some of the crazy stuff people are doing out there, they're doing it because they're incest babies. What if he's right? What if he's right? What if the people who are out there destroying pockets of black society are the incest babies? Don C in the house. What's good, brother Don C? I see you up there, man. See, I need to have Don C up here so he can explain the scientifics behind this. Jump on, Don C, if you got a few moments, man. Explain the science. Explain the science behind this foolishness. But I'm saying, what if, man? What if the people who are doing this are the incest babies? So we can stop this, man. We can stop this. And if it's true that it's the incest babies that are doing most of this crap, we can easily stop some of this crap by stop having the incest babies, right? We can make sure we know who the parents of our children are. Brothers can stop having 25, 30, like Nagone said, 52 damn kids. We can stop this, man. Because if we got the damn incest babies running amok in these inner cities, that's reason enough. That's reason enough to cut it out. You see what Brother Don C wrote, right? In Haiti, parents grill you when you meet someone new to find out about their family background to ensure you're not related. Exactly. We can do more of that. How about we do some grilling? How about we do some making sure? Because the incest babies that are here now, we can't do nothing about them. But we can make sure no more come, right? We can make sure no more incest babies are born, right? We can stop that today. Well, the people who don't know who their fathers is, that's different. I mean, they have nothing to go by. They have no anything. Because it doesn't necessarily have to be y'all live in the same town or the same state. You know, if your old man was a Rolling Stone and had 50 kids, you could run into one of your brothers, sisters, or cousins any damn way, I would imagine, right? But that goes back to family ties, man. You don't know who the old man is, man. You don't know who the old man is. So that's one half of your family you don't know. I can't say that enough. It's one whole half of your very being that you don't even know about. So it wouldn't be that hard, man, to run into one of your relatives, man. Wouldn't be hard to run into one of your relatives. And start courting them and dating them and sleeping with them. That wouldn't be hard at all to do. Now, I've been saying all night, you know, it's taboo, you know. X, you shouldn't be talking about this. I can't believe it, X. Why are you saying this stuff? But we have to, man. Because, see, I don't want you out there committing involuntary incest. And Brother Don C is right. He's right. Too many women in the hood are getting knocked up by a small number of guys. So when you got this small amount of dudes knocking up all these women, you're gonna have a bunch of siblings running around, man. And I keep going back to Nagone saying that he knew a guy that had 52 children. 52 in some little small town. You know he don't know all them kids. And you know all those kids don't know he they damn pappy. You know they don't. You know they don't. And you know all 52 of them kids do not know each other. They don't all know that they're brothers and sisters. That's stupid to even think that. They going to school together. They working together. They walking around at with each other. Going to bars, going to clubs, going to parties, meeting, greeting each other. And yes, some of them are fucking each other. Yeah, that's happening. Now, I'm not saying that they're doing it on purpose. But it's happening. It could be happening if you got 20 kids out there and they don't know each other. All in some little ass town. What, all their mothers know each other? All their mothers know each other? The 20, the 30, 40 mamas. They all know each other, right? And they all know they got kids by this one guy. Every single one of them. And they've made sure. They've made sure that the kids know each other. They've made sure that the kids know that they all got the same father. All 50 of them or whatever it is. 40 of them, 30 of them. They've made sure of all of that. Come on, man. This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about, man. This shit is insane. And this is something we can stop. We can stop this shit tomorrow. Doesn't have to be this way, man. We can put an end to this. We can put an end to this right now. If we wanted to. But that's the thing. We have to want to do this. I would like to believe that most brothers who have multiple children by multiple people would at least take the time to make sure his children know each other. To make sure that his children know not only his siblings, but the children of said siblings. But I still say that's rather hard to do if you got 30 kids, 40 kids, 50 kids. I think that's going to be rather difficult to do. Nobody's that good. Nobody's that efficient. Nobody's that thorough. Because if the brothers was that thorough, they wouldn't have 50 kids, would they? If they were that conscientious, they wouldn't have 40 kids, would they? There's a certain mentality of the people who embark on these kind of activities. Because I don't even know why a person would want 30 kids by 30 people. 40 kids by 40 people. The only way that could remotely make sense to me is if all y'all lived in the same house. You know, like the like the Mormons and shit. You know, they had like 25 wives and, you know, all the kids right there on the compound in Utah. You know, they all know who their daddy is. You know, it's 75 of them and one man is their father. And even that is insane. But at least everybody knows who their daddy is. It's this one guy. At least everybody know who their daddy is over there. But if you got 20, 30, 40 kids, man, and they don't know who their father is, man, those kids are screwed up from the jump. They are screwed up. Especially if they're all like co-mingling in this small area, in this small city that's like 300 square miles across. And they all live in that little town, that little city. Everybody they potentially meet could be a potential sibling, a cousin, a relative. That's just the truth. There's no denying it. And I know it would be nice to pretend like this stuff doesn't happen to black folks. I know it would be nice to pretend that it doesn't happen with us. But it always seems like the things that we claim doesn't happen with us runs rampant through black society. So the next time you run into somebody, the next time you're thinking about dating somebody, the next time you think about climbing into bed with somebody, make sure you ain't related to that somebody. That's all. Make sure you're not related to the person. And you definitely better make sure if you don't know who your father is. Because you never know. That person may know who their father is. But shit, you may not know that that person is your father. I told y'all about the brother who met the girl and was going to marry her. Went to meet her father, and her father said, hey, once he found out who his mama was, he said, hey, you're my nephew. Know how I know? Because your father is my brother. Now, I know we have enough problems in black society, man, and this is probably one y'all didn't want to think about. Why would you? Especially if you somebody who knows your parents, you know who your father is and your uncles are and your aunts and cousins. But what about the people who don't? We know those exist in black society, don't we? We know those people exist, right? The people who don't know who their father is. Victims. Because they are victims in a sense. They're victims. They're victims. They're victims of involuntary incest in NegroVille. Yeah, you know. But I'm probably gonna wrap this up. Let somebody want to come up here and say something. I just want to talk about this tonight, man, because I think that just making sure we know, or should I say, as parents, we should make sure that our children know who they are related to, man. Because there's a lot of us walking around here, man. We related to folks and we don't even know it. We have no idea. We meeting our siblings and cousins when we in our 30s and 40s. A lot of us with fathers. We ain't know Pop was out there, had 5 and 6 other kids out there that we didn't know about. He lived with us. We didn't know Pop was out there banging hoes on the side. We had no idea. And likewise, what if we are one of those kids from the side? What if our mom was one of our Pop's side pieces? We didn't know that he had this other family. We didn't know any of that. We had no idea. Our mom was his side piece. So either way, it's just a messed up situation, man. Either way, it's a messed up situation. Whether you had your father in your life or you didn't. You grew up with him. You knew he was your father. Or you could be the product of the side piece who was your mom. The product of the side piece. That's you. You don't know about these other 4 and 5 brothers and sisters he had with his family over there. You have no idea. Especially if you never met him. Never knew who he was. Meanwhile, you got 4 and 5 brothers and sisters on the other side of town. Cousins, aunts, uncles that you don't know anything about. For the simple fact that you don't know him. I must reiterate it again. When you don't know the old man, you don't know the old man's family. You don't know who his mother is, his father is, his siblings, their children, your other siblings that your old man may potentially have. You don't know any of these people. You don't know any of them. So I think what we need to start doing Start asking some questions of the people that we lay down with. Who your daddy, girl? Who your mama? Who your grandfather? Start asking some questions. Especially if you've never met these people. You've never seen these people. Start asking some questions. You got one of them family photo albums, go through it. Mess around and see your daddy up in there. Some chick you just met. Your dad is all in her photo album. Your grandfather all in her photo album. You just met her. You just met her last week. But you go through that photo album, you see your pops all over the place. Your grandfather. Something to think about, ain't it? Isn't it? And I know y'all said tonight, and we about to wrap this up, but I know y'all saying, yeah, man, X is reaching on this one. Oh, that's a stretch, X. That's a reach. Ask yourself, is it really? Is it really a stretch? Is it really a reach? We all know the answer, don't we? Don't we? All I want y'all to do is ask some questions, figure some things out, inquire, investigate, to make sure that you and or the children that you have and may have in the future are not victims of involuntary incest in NegroVille. That's all. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up, man. As always, y'all know how I do it. I play a few of my bullshit commercials, and then we peel on up out of here. So I will see you good folks on the other side of the break.
Peace, folks. Open your mind. Wednesday, we throw down in the digital square circle on hours of power debates. Thursday, we get at it with D.X.L, Dark Exodus Live. So come through, 9:30 p.m., right here on the T.P.O.T YouTube page. You know. Open your mind. Hey guys, T.P.O.T on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. But you knew that already.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead, man, and we are going to wrap this up, man. Good shit tonight, man. I appreciate my brother Nagone coming through. I hate that brother BMT couldn't make it, man, because we were supposed to do this update on this story, this incest story, man. We was gonna give y'all some information on the baby and what happened to the girl and the brother and the parents and all of that. But brother BMT has the information. I don't have it. So I guess him and I will have to link up again at some later time, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna cover that story for y'all because it's something that it's a little something that needs to be heard. But another reminder, next week, the good Dr. Dunbar, right here over my left shoulder here, will be in the house, man, and he'll be taking your questions because we got a new series called Ask the Doc, and the doc will be in. The good brother Dr. Dunbar has agreed to come through next Thursday right here on the T.P.O.T YouTube page. So make sure you have your black behinds here. Then the following Thursday, the good Dr. Nijadika Olatunde, who is a reflexologist, a pain doctor. If y'all follow the Popular Thought series, y'all know Dr. Olatunde was here before, and she gives really, really good advice, man, about pain. Because you know, when you get to be an old fella like me, you have all kind of aches and muscle pain and bone pain and joint aches and all that kind of shit. Dr. Olatunde is a reflexologist. This is her specialty, so you probably want to catch that one. Those of you brothers who have those hard blue collar jobs like myself, you know, she gives really, really good advice about what to do, man, to solve your pain problem. So make sure you are here. And like I said, the week after that, the 17th, the good Dr. Yaya, who is a friend of mine, will be here. And she is a psychologist and an anthropologist, and she'll be taking your questions on the new T.P.O.T Ask the Doc series. All right. All right. So, once again, I want to thank everybody, man, for coming out tonight, man. It's always appreciated, man. Always appreciate you good folks, man, who hang out there, man, and you good folks who hang out in this here chat room as well. I appreciate brother Nagone coming through, man, contributing to the conversation as always. Like I said, Thursday night we throwing down with Ask the Doc. We might do something Wednesday. I don't know. I'm not sure. I gotta see. I don't really have a debate or nothing scheduled for Wednesday, but you never know. Things can always change. All right. All right. So with that, I will leave you with 3 words. You know, like I always do. Open your minds. Peace, folks.
Only from the Prophet of Thought series media.
you know, you know, you know, you know, you know.
Open your mind. 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 Open your mind.